Hello there and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor. Let me share something with you. Many years ago, a man gave me this book. I was losing. I was going in the wrong direction. He said, Bob, if you will read this every day and do exactly what I tell you, everything in your life will change. Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't know why I did, but I did. I followed his direction. My life has changed so dramatically that if I told you the truth, you probably wouldn't even believe me. My income skyrocketed. My effectiveness changed like night and day. I sat down and I decided I was going to build a company and operate all over the world, and that's exactly what I've been doing for 50 years now. Now, we have one of the most phenomenal programs in the world. We have watched salespeople multiply their productivity, literally not double it, multiply it. You see, the average salesperson's operating with such a small percentage of their potential that they're using. You can change it, and you can change it like night and day. Now, Brian Dalmasso's a friend of mine. He's a business associate of mine. We work together. Brian is building a sales organization internationally. That's all over the world. You know, with the internet and everything today, there's no such thing as a corner store anymore. If you're not building a global organization, you're not building. And that's the way it is. But we have the best material you're going to find anywhere in the world, bar none. We work with some of the largest companies in the world. But the beautiful truth about this is, as a salesperson, if you really want to learn how to take your productivity and skyrocket it, I'm talking about quantum leaps, multiplying. This is where you want to go. I want you to sit down with Brian and talk to him. I don't care if you're in Singapore and he's in New York. It doesn't really make any difference. He can help you increase your productivity and increase it almost overnight. This isn't an exaggeration. I'm not exaggerating. Now, I've got a pretty good reputation worldwide. I've been in this business now for over 50 years. I'm not going to gamble my reputation on his productivity or on his delivery if I'm not certain of what he can do. This guy can show you how to improve your productivity, and he can show you how to do it fast. So take the time, not just to talk to him, but listen carefully. You know, we hear with our ears, we listen with our emotions. I want you to let yourself get emotionally involved as you start to explain it. And you know that you can do this. Would you agree?
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
With
well,
that material.
shake on it. Sit down with them. Take my word for it and say, I think I will go with him. See, the one thing that I did here, I sat down with someone who really knew what they were doing, and I followed his direction. Now, that was the first one. His name was Ray Stanford. I went to work with Earl Nightingale and Lloyd Conant in Chicago. I did exactly what they said. I have learned, if you want to win, go to somebody who's demonstrated by results, they know exactly what they're talking about, and then do exactly what they tell you. I'm not going to tell you what to eat and what time to go to bed, but certain habits insofar as productivity is concerned. This guy's got it. He's got it in spades. Talk to him. Do exactly what he tells you. Do it for 30 days, and I guarantee you, you won't want to go back. You'll need a telescope to look back and see where you were. You got it down pat. Talk to him.
Hello and welcome. My name is Brian Dalmasso, and I'm here to explain our Thinking and Results Wealth Mindset Educational System. And I'm very pleased to be presenting this to you, as it's had an amazing impact in my life and many, many other people. And in order to do that, I need to really show you guys how people are typically programmed, how the typical masses are programmed and what the thinking is. The same way I was programmed and the same way you're programmed here if you're watching this. The typical masses are programmed to look at their current results. We look at the current bank account, our current business, current relationships, current physical fitness, and we use those results to cause our thinking, right? And that thinking causes our feelings for the day, or our vibration. We talk about vibration. And those feelings cause the same old actions every single day. So in order to understand why so many people are stuck and why our system works so well, we need to understand how most people are programmed from birth and how most people are thinking and acting and operating. And unfortunately, most people are looking at their current results. Those results cause the thinking causes the feelings, and those emotions and feelings cause the actions for the day. And the same old actions are going to keep causing the same old results. And this is why most people are stuck. So in the Thinking and the Results program, we condition people, we shift the paradigm, or we rewire the thinking in the subconscious mind to that of the 1%, right? The wealthiest 1%. When I say wealth, I'm not just talking about income. I'm talking about relationships, physical fitness, human interaction. The whole human experience is what we call wealth here at the Matrix Success Network. So the world's 1%, the Richard Bransons, the Warren Buffetts and things of that nature, they start with new thinking, right? They get up in the morning, they don't look at their current bank account, they think, what am I moving towards? What do I want to create? And that new thinking causes new feelings or new vibrations, right? When we talk about feelings, if somebody says, I feel sad, what they're saying is I'm in a low vibration. If somebody feels excited and successful, what they're saying is I'm consciously aware that I'm in a high vibration, right? So we start with the new thinking. It causes new feelings. Those new feelings cause new actions. It puts the body into motion, right? The body is the instrument of the mind, and it creates whatever the dominant thoughts in our mind are. So those new actions have to cause new results. So if you're in real estate and you've been stuck for a while, this is how you get to 7 figures. If you're in network marketing and you've been stuck for a while, same thing. If you're a business owner, if your relationship is stagnant, if your body, right, if you're stuck, if you've been yo-yoing with diets, this is the reason why. And this is what the Thinking and Results program changes the paradigms and changes the thinking. So another thing I want to highlight here is none of this is your fault. If you were like me, I was 43 years old before I got in front of this information, before I took the Thinking and Results program myself. And we are simply not taught how to build wealth in schools. We're not taught things like decision making. We're not taught self-image. We're not taught how to really control our environment. We're not taught wealth building. And we are certainly not taught paradigms, which is what the crux of this Thinking and Results program teaches people. Number one, what it is. And number two, how do we rewire a paradigm? So in order to understand this material, I'm going to give you a little bit of a definition of what a paradigm is. And a paradigm is just a fancy word for a set of mental programs stored in your subconscious mind that are controlling all of your habitual behaviors. I want to say that again a little slower. It's a set of mental programs stored in your subconscious mind from birth that you didn't choose that are causing all of your results. Right? So we talk about a paradigm shift, a shift in thinking. What we're saying is we're going to get rid of the virus code program that you have from birth that was given you by other people and rewire that and give you new thinking through the Thinking and Results program. So another way to highlight a paradigm is smoking, right? If you know anybody that smokes, or if you're a smoker, that is a mental program stored in your subconscious mind, and it's causing you to do something that you don't like, that's killing you, that's wasting a lot of money. So just think about that. That's a mental program. Walking is a mental program. Speaking, eating, these are all mental programs stored in our subconscious mind from our early days that are controlling all of our results. And here's the beautiful truth. These habits can be changed, right? And wealth building is also a paradigm. Warren Buffett has a set of mental programs that are in his subconscious mind that are controlling all of his habitual behavior, and he's applying that towards wealth. So we can take anybody. It doesn't matter where you are right now, physically, mentally, spiritually, or financially. It doesn't matter your results. It only matters if you're hungry and if you want to learn this information that a fraction of 1% of the people on the planet know. And that's what the Thinking and Results program is and what we're teaching here. And the one thing we have to understand here is that we're changing the mind. So what does the mind look like? If we're going to have you change your mind and shift these paradigms, what does the mind look like? Right? And most people would say this here, it looks like the organ of the brain, and that's not it at all. This is why this is confusing. Your brain is no more your mind than your skin or your fingernails. The brain is an organ. It's an electronic switching station. It sends and receives signals, right? The mind is movement. It's energy. It's spirit. And people tend to get lost when we talk about this stuff. So in order to explain this in the Thinking and Results program, we have this image that was developed by Dr. Thurman Fleet in the late 1960s that gives you an image of what to work with, right? So if we're going to change the mind, we have to know, we have to have a reference point. And that's what we do in the Thinking and Results program over a 6-month period. But I'm going to give you just a capsule here so you understand why this is different and why this system is not like anything else out there, and why the results that we work with, if you follow the system, are guaranteed. So in this, let's let the top circle here represent the mind, and the upper half is the conscious mind, and the lower half is the subconscious mind driving the body, right? The body is an instrument of the mind. It does whatever is programmed in the subconscious mind in a repetitive manner. Now, this is how, again, most people are programmed on the negative side of the equation. Most people are completely ignorant, and I am still ignorant in a lot of areas. except when it comes to wealth building and the mindset. I've chosen to study that. Now, ignorance is not a bad term. It just means not knowing. So most people have worry and doubt and negative thinking. How am I going to pay the bills? What if my house gets foreclosed on? What if I get a disease? Cancer runs in my family. They have negative thoughts running around their mind. They have worry and doubt and negative thoughts in their mind on a constant basis. Well, guys, we become what we think. So if you're thinking fear, doubt, lack, and worry, you're going to create more of that. People like Warren Buffett, they're thinking abundance and success and multi-billions, so that's what they create. It's a very simple equation. So worry and doubt in the conscious mind produce fear in the subconscious mind, and fear is an illusion. It's an emotion that doesn't even exist until we feed it. And if you have fear, it produces anxiety in the body. So we can completely eliminate anxiety through the Thinking and Results program just by understanding this and by working together over a 6-month period. So if you have anxiety and stress, this is why. And it also leads to procrastination. And procrastination eventually leads to depression, because procrastination is a body that's not moving, not creating. And it doesn't feel good to not create, right? So this is depressing. And this is why most depression happens, although it's not the only cause. So if somebody has depression, we can work with them through this program and help them completely get rid of it. And depression eventually leads to dis-ease, which is a body not at ease, right? So I want you to think about that. What we do in the Thinking and Results program is we give you some knowledge through study and positive thinking. We get rid of the ignorance and replace it with knowledge and the mindset as generated or as applied to wealth building. And that knowledge creates faith. Right? Now, faith is the opposite of fear. Faith is not a religious term, although it could be, but faith is knowing. It's believing in the unknown or the unproven. You have faith that gravity is here, but you can't explain it. You have faith that these lights turn on when we turn a switch on, but you can't explain electricity. So people have faith in all kinds of different ways, except in themselves. And if you don't have faith in yourself, you will not be successful. It's just an equation. It's physics and science at that point. So we teach people how to have positive thinking and understanding through study, which creates faith in a being that's a well-being. It's calm, right? And that produces acceleration in the body, what we call creation, and that produces action in a body that is at ease. So again, that's just a capful of what we're doing here in the Thinking and Results program. And whatever side of the equation you're on, we become what we think. Henry Ford became what he thought. He created the largest car company in the world because he was constantly thinking that. Most people are not thinking, and therefore they create depressed bodies, they create poverty, they create disease and things of that nature, because the chaos and the noise of the day-to-day is just getting into their minds. All right, guys, so let me give you a little history of the content. None of this is my opinion, right? This is my mentor, Bob Proctor. He's been studying for 59 years. He's been teaching me for half a dozen years, and he's been studying the subconscious mind as it relates to wealth building for his entire adult life, and teaching and coaching and training all over the world. And again, he is my mentor, and we are now the top coach in the world, working with him, training entrepreneurs and individuals and corporations. We work with sales teams and management teams and people of all different ages and all over the world. So the history of the content comes from Andrew Carnegie. It came way before him, but as of recent times in the late 1800s, Andrew Carnegie was the first recorded billionaire in the late 1800s. He was the CEO of the United States Steel Corporation, and he challenged a young Napoleon Hill. If you've ever read the book Think and Grow Rich, right? This publication has been responsible for creating more millionaires and billionaires than any other publication in history. And Napoleon Hill wrote that. He spent 25 years researching all of the wealthiest people like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Andrew Carnegie. These are all his friends. And he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, which is the basis for what we're teaching here. And then bringing that forward, he mentored Earl Nightingale. And same thing, Earl Nightingale spent his entire adult career teaching, coaching, and training this material. And he mentored my mentor, Bob Proctor, who's still alive today. He's 85 years old, and he's all over the world teaching and coaching, and we are right there by his side doing the same thing. So bringing this forward is myself, Brian Dalmaso, with the Matrix Success Network. And again, we're bringing these sciences and the physics of how wealthy people think and act and operate forward to you guys here viewing this video in the Thinking and Results program. So a little bit more about my background. I'm the CEO of 5 different companies. I'm the CEO and managing partner of the Matrix Success Network. I became CEO of these companies by using this material. Before this material, I had a construction company. Before that, I was a mechanical engineer and an architect and a builder. But it wasn't until I bumped into Bob Proctor and I started getting mentorship and coaching in the Thinking and Results program that I started spinning off companies. And now I'm the CEO of a software company, a construction company, a gaming company, and a clothing company. And we are teaching and coaching this material all over the world and just absolutely loving it. So again, I was able to scale my construction company from about $1 million to over 10 million in a 12-month period using this identical program. And that's when I really took a deeper dive and started working with Bob and wanted to teach and coach this stuff because it was so impactful in my life. And again, from there, I was able to spin off the software company, an energy company, a gaming company, and the Matrix Success Network, which is a consulting company teaching and coaching this material. All right, so that's a little bit about the material, what the Thinking and Results program is, the history of the content, what you're going to get if you decide you want to work with us. You're going to learn to think and act and operate like the world's wealthiest people. You're going to understand how Warren Buffett thinks, how Elon Musk thinks, how Mark Zuckerberg thinks, and how these people create and how they process information. You're also going to learn how to master the art of remaining calm in decision-making. Right? You're going to learn to live from the inside out instead of in a reactive state from the outside in, getting blown around by the economy, by relationships, and by people and things that are happening to you on the outside. We learn to live from the inside out and create our own economies and really master the art of remaining calm. You're also going to learn to eliminate fear, doubt, worry, stress, anxiety, and even depression. If you struggle with any of those things, this program is going to give you the tools in the mental toolbox to overcome those things. And lastly, guys, you're going to be able to join a community of like-minded people from all over the world that we're coaching that are learning to think like the top 1% of income earners and the top 1% of people that are really experiencing life on a heavenly level and just really building the life of their dreams. All right, guys, that's a little bit about the Thinking and Results program. Hopefully it's been informative. If you'd like, you can get with the person who showed you this video. You can book a strategy session or a discovery session with myself or one of our expert team. And remember, we become what we think. If you want to make some quantum leaps moving forward in 2020 and beyond, feel free to book a strategy session here and you can talk with one of our team or myself and we can help you do that. So until then, I look forward to meeting you. Be well and God bless.